I recognize the honourable member for Dartmouth North.
Madam Speaker, my question is for the minister responsible for residential tenancies. Last week, the final tenant was evicted from a 9-unit Dartmouth North building after the landlord refused to renew a series of fixed-term leases. As a result of having to move, Keely Corrigan saw her rent more than double. It went from $754 to $1,525, and I will table that. Without the abuse of fixed-term leases, Keely could have stayed in her rent-capped unit instead of moving into a unit she will struggle to pay for. So the question is, does the minister believe that this is the intended and appropriate use of fixed-term leases?
I recognize the Honourable Minister for Service, Nova Scotia.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. And of course, recognize that when a tenant does face the end of their lease, it does put them in a very difficult situation and does cause a lot of stress, Madam Speaker. Again, I've spoken at length about the intended use of fixed-term leases on the floor of the legislature. There's a time and place for them. And as a member of this government, continue to support that intended use. Madam Speaker, we know that the low vacancy rate in the province is causing a lot of stress in our housing market, and that's why as a government we're focused on the true solution, that's adding more housing stock to the housing market, Madam Speaker. $1 billion investment over 5 years to add an additional 40,000 units, and that's why I'm proud of the leadership of the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing. Thank you very much.
The Honourable Member for Dartmouth North.
Speaker, this is not an isolated incident. This story has played out time and time again in my office and surely many others around the province. Residents are being displaced from affordable units, often into unaffordable or precarious housing, or in fact into homelessness. This government seems to think that handing over funding to developers and landlords will result in trickle-down affordability. We've had nearly 3 years of this philosophy, and all we have to show for it in Dartmouth North is a series of renovated buildings that have doubled in price. Why is this government failing to preserve the precious few affordable housing units we have left?
I recognize the Honourable Minister for Service, Nova Scotia.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. And I certainly don't want to speak for the Minister of Housing, but again, I'd go to the true solution within that we're faced with is that we're focusing on more housing, more places that Nova Scotians can call home. We're not, contrary to what the member opposite is saying, we're making a number of investments in the housing market, whether it be modular public housing, whether it be in new public housing, Madam Speaker, whether it's supporting student housing projects across the province, whether it's new affordable housing projects, Madam Speaker, whether it's removing the provincial HST portion on new construction for a multi-purpose, purpose-built multi-unit apartments, Madam Speaker. We know we need more housing. That is the solution to the housing crisis. Sure.